Have you ever felt a pain so deep, so personal, that you knew, deep in your gut, no one else could fix it for you? We are taught to seek support, to lean on others, but there is a brutal truth the ancient masters knew. Real power is born in the dark, where no one is watching. Welcome to INVICTUS X. Today, we aren't talking about holding hands. We are discussing the 7 fires you must walk through alone to become truly untouchable. We live in an era that romanticizes sharing. Share your status, share your location, share your trauma. But let's be honest for a second. While friends and family can offer empathy, they cannot carry your burden. There is a specific type of victory that simply does not fit into a motivational group chat. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher king, didn't write meditations for an audience. He wrote it for himself, to keep his own soul steady when the empire was crumbling. He knew that strength doesn't come from applause, it comes from character. When you outsource your emotional stability to others, you are building a house on sand. The moment they leave or fail to understand you, your foundation cracks. The Stoics teach us a hard lesson. You can't control the world, but you can control how you respond to it. Power begins the moment you stop outsourcing your soul.
The first thing you must face alone is healing your own wounds. Imagine you have a physical cut. A friend can hand you a bandage, a doctor can stitch it up, but the actual knitting together of the skin? Your body does that alone. The soul works the same way. When the lights go out at night, it's just you and that open wound inside. If you refuse to face it, that wound becomes your identity. You start saying, "I am this way because I was hurt." And suddenly, you are protecting the very thing that is destroying you. Personal insight: I've seen people cling to their trauma like a safety blanket because healing feels terrifyingly unfamiliar. They choose a familiar hell over an unknown heaven. But as insights from GLASP suggest, we must embrace grief, not to wallow in it, but to use it as a catalyst for change. You have to look at the scar and say, "This happened, but it does not rule me." The second battle is to discipline your mind. In a world designed to distract you, where algorithms are paid billions to steal your attention, mental discipline is an act of rebellion. No mentor can hold your focus for you. No book can force you to think clearly. An undisciplined mind is like a house with no doors. Anxiety walks in, fear puts its feet up on the table, and the opinions of strangers on the internet start redecorating your living room. You live in a state of reaction. The Stoic trains the opposite: observe, name it, choose. Think of your mind as a VIP club. Why are you letting thoughts in that aren't on the guest list? If you don't control your thoughts, they will inevitably control you. Third, you must build your vision in silence. Here is a story for you. Think of the sculptor working on a block of marble. For months, maybe years, all people see is a man covered in dust, chipping away at a rock. There is no applause during the chipping phase. There is only the lonely, repetitive sound of the hammer. Greatness is forged in that silence. The world only cares about the podium. They never see the sleepless nights. Vision is choosing who you are going to be before you have the evidence that you can be it. You need a North Star that doesn't flicker just because someone laughed at your idea. If your ambition requires a cheerleading squad to keep it alive, it's not a vision, it's a fantasy. Number 4 is the hardest for many. Walk away from what weakens you. We often confuse attachment with loyalty. We stay in dead-end jobs because they are safe. We stay in toxic friendships because we've known them since high school. But strength begins where attachment ends. Imagine you are rowing a boat across the ocean, but there is a hole in the hull. You can row harder than anyone else. You can have the best technique, but if you don't plug that hole or get out of that boat, you are sinking.
The Stoic understands that not everything you lose is a loss. Sometimes you are just dropping dead weight. It takes a lonely courage to cut off a routine that numbs you or a person who drains you. You don't become strong by adding more to your life. You become strong by removing what makes you weak. Fifth, you must master your emotions. This doesn't mean becoming a stone statue. It means becoming a commander. Emotions are fire, useful for cooking, dangerous for housing. If you explode at every insult, you are predictable. And if you are predictable, you are controllable. There is a profound power in the pause. The moment you want to snap back, but you don't. The moment you want to send that angry text, but you delete it. No one sees that victory. No one hands you a trophy for not losing your temper. But that is where you become dangerous in the best way. You stop being a slave to your mood. As Epictetus taught, freedom isn't about doing whatever you want. It's about not being a puppet to your own impulses.
Sixth, learn to be at peace in your own company. Most people are terrified of silence because silence asks questions they don't want to answer. Are you happy? Are you living the life you wanted? So they fill the void with noise, music, podcasts, scrolling. But solitude is where you find yourself. It is where you separate desire from neediness. Personal insight, GLASP insights on mental toughness emphasize that we must set boundaries for solitude. It's a deliberate practice, not an accident. When you learn to be okay with yourself, you stop negotiating your values just to fit in. You stop accepting crumbs of affection because you are starving. You become full on your own. Returning to yourself is like cleaning a messy room. It's uncomfortable at first, but once it's done, you finally have a place to rest.
Finally, number 7. Get up after every fall. This is the ultimate separator. Friends might help you up once or twice, but life is not obligated to carry you. At some point, you realize that you must be your own foundation. Getting up is an intimate act. It's when you are humiliated, betrayed, or exhausted, and you still refuse to abandon your character. Marcus Aurelius wrote like a man rebuilding himself from the inside out, day after day. You are your own project. You are your own resurrection. The path to power is not a group hike. You will walk in silence. You will bleed in private. You will say no when everyone else says yes. But one day, the world will look at you and wonder how you became so solid. The answer will be simple. You faced alone what had to be faced. If you are ready to stop being a passenger in your own life, I want you to leave a comment below. Tell me which of these 7 habits you are committing to master this week. Let's build a community of strength right here on INVICTUS X. Don't just watch, act.